I made a video just yesterday talking about the negatives of Siege X and how Ubisoft was making it into the news for not the good reasons. But today we're going to talk about the Rainbow Six Marketplace. And the last time we did a video about the Rainbow Six Marketplace was quite a while ago when we had some balancing changes, and it was quite interesting to see how the R6 Marketplace was reacting to operators getting nerfed, which resulted in their skins going down in value, and operators that were getting buffed had their skins go up in value. And of course, the prices are set by the players themselves. However, this time around, we've seen a global marketplace crash, and it is great news for Ubisoft. But before we get into that, make sure you go to the R6 Marketplace. You can do this on console or PC. You just have to log in with your Ubisoft account on the Marketplace website. And then you can actually enter right now for a raffle to get a free skin. And there's only 5,000 of these skins being given out. And that is the total number that will ever be given out. And this ends on June 23rd. And good luck to everyone who enters. So yeah, why is it that there's a market crash right now? Is it due to the game just losing popularity, Siege X update not being liked or something like that? And why is this also good for Ubisoft? So the answer to the first question is very simple, and most likely you've already figured this out, and that is that the Paragon Elite for Valkyrie was released on the 17th of June. And that's when this global crash happened. And that is of course because people are selling what they can to get 5,000 credits to then go buy the Paragon Elite and own it. Now you might be thinking that's bad for Ubisoft, right? Because they're not actually spending money to go out and buy brand new R6 credits, which are now a little bit more expensive, by the way. So the reason this is good is because of course you cannot put the Valkyrie Paragon, just like Elites, on the marketplace. So those R6 credits that are spent to buy it are gone. They never come back. Whereas marketplace skins you can buy and sell. Of course, Ubisoft does take a 10% cut every transaction, but that means the R6 credits is moving just from account to account for the most part. Whereas buying that Paragon Elite is sucking R6 credits out of the market entirely. And that will of course have the result of people going out and buying more R6 credits in the future. It also means that the Paragon Elite has been extremely successful and it's sought after, so people want it now rather than later, because logically speaking, you can probably just wait a month, the prices will recover, and you can get your credits for that Paragon easier than you can now, with everything being deflated in overall value. I'll also mention here, if you don't have the skins to actually sell to get 5,000 credits to buy the Paragon Elite and you do want to pick it up, you might have been looking at the currency packs for Siege, and you'll notice that of course, Ubisoft doesn't sell a 5,000 pack currency. They sell below it or above it. So you have to usually spend a lot more money to get what you need for the Paragon. But I will actually point out you can pick up the premium pack. You can even use the code COREROSS if you want on the Ubisoft store. And this actually gives exactly 5,000 credits. Or if you're just 3,000 credits shy, you can buy the other premium pack. And this actually also gives you a universal weapon skin as well. Now, the fact that this Paragon Elite is so sought after is very interesting because I've been hearing a lot of people say, oh, it's not my style, and not being too hyped about it, but they still got it. And the reason they got it is because it is so showy when you're doing your reloads with the MPX. And of course, this can then be shown off in the kill cams of people you have eliminated or end of round cams as well. And because it's not limited to just being Valkyrie, of course, Warden and Tubero can also use it, so it's a top tier show-off skin, and I think this is the real selling power behind this. And honestly, they could probably have sold just the weapon skin with the fancy reload for 40 bucks, and it probably would have sold just as well as it is with the full bundle, because I think this is the key to it. However, let me know in the comments below if I'm completely wrong on this judgment. So I think Ubisoft is really onto a banger here, and this is probably going to be financially, I would imagine, one of the best success stories of Siege X. And it's just going to come down to how often Ubisoft can pump these out and how much people's wallets can take of it. And I know that this one, the very first Paragon Elite with Valkyrie here, it took them 12 months to fully put it together. And of course, it'll be a lot faster the second time around because the first time was a lot of planning, figuring things out, trying things that do work and don't work, and then eventually getting to the final piece. Whereas now they know what the final piece should be for the next one they develop. So I think financially, this has probably been a success, which I think means they probably want to do one per season from here on out, if they can pull it off. And I would imagine the second one is already well into development at this point. Now, looping back around, let's talk about the marketplace again. Of course, this is what this video is about, and we've discussed why it's crashing now, but I will say the crash is not staggering. We're not seeing like a 90% drop in prices. We're not even seeing probably enough of a drop that would mean that like you could pick stuff up cheap now and then sell it when the prices come back up, because even with that 10% cut that Ubisoft takes, you're not going to get that back with the prices we've seen the drops to so far. Now, of course, they could drop further, but I think we'll probably see a recovery to normal prices in maybe a month's time once the hype and the people who want the skin now go out and pick it up. But certainly, I always find it extremely fascinating to watch the prices on the marketplace. Like some people will sell stuff so cheap that it blows my mind. Other people will spend crazy amounts of credits on buying stuff, and it is just quite incredible to watch the prices go up and down, what people are buying, what people are selling. And of course, we've now seen our first global crash, and we've seen previously crashes based on operator balance and changes. So it's really just interesting to watch this, and it's a fascinating aspect of Rainbow Six Siege.